Japan is famous, and rightfully so, for its amazing high-speed trains and its vast public transportation network. But what some people don't know is that there are also overnight sleeper buses. I'm here at a bus center in a place called Sukagawa in Tohoku. I'm going to be on this bus for about 10 hours all the way across Japan back to Osaka, where I live. The bus leaves in a couple hours, I think, so I've got to kind of hang around. It's about 7:30 now. Let's go inside and see what the bus center looks like. See if I hope there's a waiting room that's open. Right. Okay, I think this says highway bus waiting room. The building's open, that's a good thing. Hey, there we go. A lovely little waiting room. No one else here. No one's stupid enough to come this early. My bus leaves at 9:21. I paid for it online, so it's all paid for. Just got to get on seat 2A. So nothing to do now but sit around here for a couple hours and admire all the posters warning you of constant danger. I gotta say, Japan likes to keep you a little bit on edge. Likes to keep you reminded of all the bad things that might happen. As soon as I took that last video, some guy came in and told me, like, there's no cameras, do not use cameras in the waiting room. So I turned it off. I don't know who he was, but there's no signs at all that say that. Maybe he just took an instant disliking to me. Anyway, still waiting here. I've been waiting here for 2 hours. It's about 9:10, and this bus just left, and the guy told me that my bus is next. So everything's happening very soon. I'm so excited to see what the inside of this bus is like. Is it actually possible to get any kind of sleep on this bus? So, not much is happening. So there's no real news to tell you. It's just that I've been sitting around for 2 hours unable to get my filming on. So I'm happy to see you again. Although it's seamless for you, it's been 2 hours for me. Hi, すみません。メールで。
はい、塚川から。
2A。ジェラミーです。
はい、ジェラミーです。はい。梅田まで大阪。
そう。
はい。
どこ
？2階の
2階。
2の絵。はい。
ありがとう。The bus was immediately disorienting. Heavy curtains fastened with Velcro lined all the windows, and the interior was dimly lit and quiet. It was like a cocoon. I had to figure out my surroundings discreetly. There was a little shelf and a cup holder plus another cup holder at my feet. I had a power outlet. There were controls for the air vent and overhead lights, and a privacy curtain, sort of. I had my own disposable paper slippers, and a seat warmer that would prove genuinely useful later. Okay, it is very quiet. Nobody is saying anything. There's no phones, there's no speakers, there's nobody talking. And I'm not going to be the one to annoy everybody. There's very much a sense of community here, which is nobody's making noise. We're all in an uncomfortable place to sleep together, so nobody screw it up. That's the sense I get. So the curtain kind of shuts. It's not even completely opaque. I can easily see through to the other seats. I'm going to now try to see about how the seat reclines, because I haven't done that part yet. It's kind of important. A platform folds down as a footrest, and this piece folds out as a sort of ramp for your lower legs. You pull this lever and the seat back goes down. Okay, I've pushed the back of the seat all the way back. If somebody was sitting beside me, this seat would be in their face, right in their stomach. So I guess you're not really supposed to do that if there's somebody behind you. Alright, it's about 10:30, and we stopped at a couple stations after the one I got on, and that's it. The next stop is about 8 hours from now in Kyoto, actually. So, I'm as snug as I'm ever going to be here. There's still nobody beside me or in front or behind me. So, got the place all to myself. Got these 6 seats at least to myself. There's somebody diagonal in front of me and someone diagonal in back of me, but none of us is in each other's way. And I finished the last of the water that I brought on board. I don't know if there's any other water on board. Probably not. This is not a high frills service. However, on the card about the layout of the bus, it says on the first floor there's a toilet, and right next to that there's something called a service box. And I don't know what that is, but I'm going to go wander around. I'm not entirely sure you're supposed to get up and move around while the bus is moving, but come back and just try to get sleepy. The train is bobbing, the bus is bobbing quite a bit. It's going to be a challenge to sleep here. This bus is kind of jerking up and down and sideways at irregular intervals, so this is going to be fun. Snug here in the toilet. I'm gonna feel good in the seat after being in here. This is not a lot of room here, and I'm not a large guy, but I'm not complaining. It's cool that it's even here. As soon as I stepped in here, it occurred to me that it's probably not wise to wear thin paper slippers into a toilet, but the floor is dry. Anyway, I'll show you really quick around this very tiny room to see what we have here. Well, of course, the toilet with a humorous and unnecessary explanatory plaque on it. No smoking. Seat covers. A little tiny trash can. There is a very tiny sink and some soap and the toilet paper. Guess that's where you flush. That's in case you need to call somebody for an emergency. And that's the door. So that's it. Basically. We seem to be stopped. Am I supposed to be upstairs? I better get out of here. Sumimasen.
はい。
これは休憩ですか？
休憩。
あ、どれぐらい？
あと、1050?
あ、OK。あと10分ぐらい。
10分ぐらい。
はい、ありがとう。Alright. As I was in the bathroom giving my little demonstration, my little presentation of the bathroom, the bus stopped. When I got out, everybody was leaving, and I was like, what's going on? So it's just a break. So so ridiculous. I didn't actually have to use a toilet. I was just in there to see it, and now look what this building is called. Wow. Look at this row of drinks. There's no alcohol allowed on the bus as far as I know, so they don't sell beer in any of these places, but that's an impressive row of machines even for Japan. As it turned out, this is actually a rest area for anyone driving along the expressway. Quite a step up from the dark and neglected ones that I've been to along interstates in the US. And the service box turned out to be something, I think, like medical emergencies or something, so I didn't actually open it, but nothing important, not water. I had to stop here to buy water. Everything you need is right here, and I just didn't trust them. I was like, man, maybe they wish they had water. Let's see what the toilet's like. But I didn't need any of that. We stopped right here. It's perfect. Intercom and said good night. They turned off the lights on the walkway, so it's totally dark now except for my lights. I gotta turn these lights off now. I did start to drift off after a couple of hours of podcasts, but sleep was fitful at best. I alternated between lying on my back and sort of curling up on my side, but I never seemed to go into deep sleep. Maybe it wasn't as bad as it seemed, though. I'd put a camera in the window to see what I couldn't see through the curtain and to get footage for this video. At 2:30, we stopped at another rest area for about 10 minutes, and I had no idea until I watched this later. Deeper sleep than I thought. But it didn't last. Despite the curtains, there were still flashing lights from the highway. An eye mask would have been useful. I just put my cap over my face. Plus, although the weather outside was warm, it was too cold on the bus. That seat warmer helped, but I really needed a blanket. They sell all this stuff at the bus center, but only when the office part is open. At 5:45 came morning announcements, and they turned the lights back on. We were making our first stop, Kyoto. The curtains stayed closed though, so the sensory deprivation cocoon effect persisted. An hour later, we were in Osaka. They announced my stop, Higashiyometa, and when we arrived, it was actually about 20 minutes earlier than scheduled. Good morning. All right, that's it. It is 7 a.m. and we're here. So let me get my thoughts and explain, let me figure out where I am actually. Okay, well we made it 7 o'clock, a few minutes early actually I think. So I'm in Osaka. I'm not exactly sure where. I did not sleep well, as you might imagine. I would doze off for 15 minutes here and there, and those were the good times. I think at one point I was gone for about an hour, maybe 50 minutes. It was just hard. In the seat, hard to get a good, hard to feel comfortable. But, you know, better than a normal bus seat, just not as good as a normal bed. So that was an interesting experience. I don't know if I'll be doing that again. Maybe. To be honest, for the price, 12,000 yen, didn't seem that cost effective over trains. It's cheaper than trains, but I don't know. It was fun. So another way to get around Japan, I'm going to go and fight the rush hour crowds here. We'll see what they look like. So thanks for riding along on this crazy bus with me, and I'll see you next time. Excuse me, pigeons. Rush hour was actually just beginning, so the crowds weren't even that bad. And as everyone else was struggling to wake up on their way to the office, I must say I had a vigorous sense of accomplishment myself, like I'd endured a struggle and come out victorious. It's a fun experience. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much to everybody who's subscribing to my free weekly email newsletter, and to my supporters on Patreon. Special thanks to Will Phillips and Omeyer.